we have a good old-fashioned CGC unboxing, day before the Comic-Con edition. Coming up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, comic book community. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. Really appreciate it. We're getting close to 4,000 subscribers, and we'll soon be doing a 4,000 subscriber giveaway. Details to follow. Also follow us on the other socials, Instagram at Bronzeville_Comics, Whatnot, Bronzeville_Comics. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you sign up for Whatnot, if you're not yet on there and you sign up with the link in the description of this video, you'll get $10 off your first purchase, whether it's with me or another vendor. Doesn't matter. You also will find in the description a link to my email, a link to my eBay store, and the last time, a link to the site for King Con 4, which this video is dropping on Sunday, March 26th. This is the second and last day of King Con in Island, New Jersey. These books will be available. So I got a CGC box in, 25 Moderns, and this is Friday night. I'm filming it. Yeah, it's still Friday night. And the show starts tomorrow, Saturday morning. So I got to dig these books out, price them, and most of them are going to be available at the King Con show. There are a few I'm going to keep, and we'll go through that. We'll go through where I kept them, what I thought the approximate grades were, all that good stuff. I don't know the grades, so we'll discover together. Maybe we'll have some happiness and maybe some disappointment. We'll see. So, okay. So let's just take a look at what we have here. I'm going to open the box. My buddy who owns my LCS this came through, he is out of town. So I had to drive to his house, and his daughter was home, and pick it up today. So I'd have these books potentially for the show tomorrow, because I thought there's some good books. And there are a lot of these were books I was looking to sell. Now the box got a little crunched on the sides, so I'm a little bit nervous. We'll check out the slabs, see if they survive shipping. It's a little tougher when you have 25. The shipping's a little bit cheaper, but you also have more potential for impact. So I'm just going to dig into here, and I have a list of all the books that are in here. So we're going to get started. Again, I don't know the grades. We'll check them out together. Okay, this is one of the books I think I'm going to keep. This is a Black Lightning #1. I thought this was about an 8.5. The biggest thing was this little thing there that kind of chew on the corner. Other than that, it's a pretty sharp book. I had gotten this. Where did I get this? I think I got this on a Elite Comics 11 at Con a year ago from Kyle's Comics, and I was looking for a high grade copy of this book. Of course, there's been the TV show that's come and gone, but this is one of the handful of new heroes that DC introduced in the late 70s, kind of right before the DC implosion. And Black Lightning has been a considerable character throughout the last 46 years. In comics, he has his own TV show. He's been part of Young Justice. We've seen him quite a bit. So I predicted this grade to be an 8.5. 8.5. White pages. Very good. And we'll put the FMV in the description below. That I'm going to hold on to. That is a book. I have that run from when I was a kid. I think I picked up the entire run at Comic-Cons back in my youth. Short run is less than 10 issues, I believe, in that series. So we'll see how that stacks up to what I have in my PC. I'll keep the highest one. 8.5 right now is the highest one I have. The book does have some value to it. So let's see what is next. Booster Gold. This is a hot book. I had picked this up about a year ago from Streetside Anthony. I think I paid maybe $50 for this. It's a pretty high-grade copy. I thought this was a 9.2. The biggest issue with the book was there was some slight tanning. to maybe the back cover as I'm looking at it here. Other than that, it was really sharp. I don't think there are any spine ticks on it. I thought it was about a 9.2. Wow, awesome, 9.6. That is a big plus. Wow, I thought the tanning would knock it down. Again, I thought other than that, it was really sharp. So I am exceedingly happy with a 9.6 in that book. Of course, that book has been really hot. This is the best one I have. I'm going to keep this for now. I do have a couple of other copies that I have to send out that are also pretty high grade. I kind of was picking that up last year. So, okay. So I just want to make 9 notes. I'm even on one. I'm plus on one. So let's see. The pluses, the minuses, and the break-evens, the push. So we have a plus and a push. Okay. This way I can make the notes a little bit easier to find the FMV. Up next, Captain America number 241, newsstand. Right? This classic Frank Miller cover. And this is the first time that the Punisher appears outside of the SpiderMan titles. This is pretty much like a crossover cover by. Even though John Bernthal's coming back as the Punisher in the MCU, I don't think we're going to see him team up with Captain America. I thought this was about a 9.2, and this had been part of a collection I had picked up Thanksgiving of 2021. So I had it at a 9.2, and I have to remember which finger. I can let that go. Right hand. Okay. 9.2, white pages. Very good. Okay. That's borderline to get it graded, but I had already started the process, and I had pressed it a couple times, so I figured, let me submit it. Pretty cool book to have. So it's a nice, cheap, cool, high-grade book. So another push. Very good. Okay. Up next, I think, just get rid of the big old bags. Okay. Now this book, yep, Incredible Hulk 271, first appearance in comics of Rocket Raccoon. It is a newsstand. I had picked this up in that Thanksgiving collection as well. There's a little bit of something down by Hulk's foot, a little bit of a spine tick there. I did press this several times. I actually had submitted this book once before, and you can see, with these newer CGC cases, it does say newsstand edition. I had the, what was I going to say? I had submitted this in a 9.6 pre-screen, and it came back rejected. And I thought it was a little bit of a push there, so I have it at like a 9.4. 9.4 white pages. Very good. Another push. I'm correct on 3 out of 4. Happy with that. 9.4. Very good. That's a nice book to get in that high grade. So it didn't quite make the 9.6, which was about right. I mean, I think I had it right all along. There was not much else I could do in terms of pressing that. Up next is Hulk. I think it is. But it is what I think it is. Incredible Hulk 340. I had purchased this on eBay. It was a mess. I purchased it about a year ago for maybe even a little bit longer for $115, which, that market, I paid pretty well for it. But I was able to press quite a bit out, but there's still deep spine ticks, right? There was a lot of other pressable defects I was able to get out. So I had this, I thought it was at about a 7. 7.5, white pages, very nice. This was definitely a lower grade book when I got it. So it took nicely to a press to get a 7.5. That's still a good book, a nice affordable book. That'll be at King Con. Up next is one of these books that was kind of hot during the comic boom, a modern book that in graded condition got high. And I think part of the problem with a number of these modern books is that everybody submitted them because they had plenty of high grade copies. Because this is a book, if I'm going in order here, from 2015. It is what? Oh no, I'm jumping up. Okay, forget it. This is not from 2015. This is from 1979. Copy of Amazing Spider-Man 194. First appearance of the Black Cat. There's quite a bit of foxing on this book. And there was a little bit of a tear in the back cover. So I had this in lower grade. I thought this was a 6.5. Okay. And it came back as 6.0 white pages. So that's my first minus of the day. I don't think there's a lot of price difference between a 6.0 and a 6.5. So we bring another affordable book. Are we going to see the Black Cat in some sort of Sony disaster? Who knows? So I'm not going to guess as to what's next. I have a couple of other ASM books in here. Did I miss something? No. I'm kind of fumbling through here and without looking. I don't want to see the grades. Okay, another ASM book. This is $2.99. This I thought was pretty high grade. There was one spine tick that I just couldn't get rid of. It was hidden fairly well by the art, but it's there. I thought this was a 9.4. Okay. It came back a 9.6. Yes. Nice. Nice. That's where you want to see the plus. You'd rather see the plus on the 9.4 to 9.6 than like the 6.5 to 7.0. That is very nice. This first cameo appearance of Venom. I had gotten this as part of a collection I bought in September 2021, a big SpiderMan collection. So there were a number of high-grade books, and glad that that's there. So I had that. I think I was a little conservative on the 9.4 because it was really only one spine tick that was holding it back. So 9.6 white pages, very good. So that is, yep, it's another plus. Very good. Okay. The collection, that Spider-Man collection, didn't have a 300, but I bought one. And this was much like the Hulk 340. This is a newsstand. I didn't have it listed as a newsstand when I looked it up. Okay. Does it say it? Yeah, they picked it up. Usually in my notes, I denote whether it's a newsstand or not. I usually put in, the year and then denote it as a newsstand or not. So this was, again, in lower grade, has spine stress, definitely. Mid-grade book. But, a lot of pressable defects on it. I thought it was a 7. So any bump in grade in this book is pretty considerable. So, 7.5, white pages. Very nice. Very nice. That is very, very happy with that. That's a book, even at a 7 to 7.5, the bump is important. So this'll, if it didn't sell on Saturday, it'll be there at Sunday on King Con. And here we have 301, the second appearance of Venom. It lists it. What does it list as the noteworthy significance? Silver Sable appearance. Yeah, nobody cares about that. It's the McFarlane cover. And the continuation of the Venom story. This had a couple of spine ticks. I had this at a 9.2. 9.0. Okay. It's okay. Still a good book. The two that came back below my expectations are just one grade level below, so that's not a big deal. Let's see what's next. There's one more ASM book in here, and it is this one. Yeah, ASM 361, first appearance of Carnage, blah, 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 blah. Everybody knows about that. Screensaver. Engaged. First Carnage, this was in that Spider-Man collection. I thought there was one small spine stress. I thought a 9.6. Let me just get it focused there. And it came back a 9.4. White pages. Okay. Little disappointed in that. Yeah, that spine stress isn't hiding. I don't know what else is wrong with this. And then maybe a little bit at the top there. So, okay. Another little downgrade, but we're all in the ballpark here. What is next? Get rid of that. It's cardboard. So make sure. Okay. I don't know what this is next. Okay. another one that I bought, a newsstand edition. I got to look at my notes. Of Wolverine #1, the limited series newsstand, which isn't in '82 as huge a deal as it would be like 20 years later or something. There was a little bit of spine stress. I thought this, pressed out fairly nice. I had graded it at a 9.0. Yeah, I don't know. Either I picked this up as part of a collection I got Thanksgiving weekend a couple years ago, or I bought it on eBay. I did buy one of these on eBay for $44. Either way, 9.0 white pages, right on what we predicted. Very good. So, yeah, we're dancing right around our predictions. About the same number, plus, minus, and on, and, nothing really too far off. I think the biggest plus was 2 grade bumps up. Biggest minus was only 1 down. So, I think this is a very fairly graded box, which is, kind of what you want. That's what CGC's job should be, is to grade the books accurately. Okay. Up next, XMen. Okay, these are lower grade, kind of higher end to mid grade. I had picked these up I had gotten a big XMen collection, had like 95 to 282. Got some good books out of that one. This one I thought was a little bit more in the mid grade. There is some creasing on the cover. I did press this a number of times, and even with all the pressing, I thought, I'm not really seeing anything. I thought it's a newsstand, but wait, no, that's right on the borderline of April '79. So I guess they don't denote it yet. This is the first cameo appearance of Alpha Flight. I thought this was a 7. Ooh, came back a 6. Ouch. That is our biggest disappointment so far. I do want to look at the grader's notes on this one. I think a 6 might have been a little harsh, but all in all, there's light bends to cover, light spine stress lines to cover, light creasing to cover. The creasing you can see there, some thumb creasing, I guess, and the corners aren't particularly sharp. Spine is actually not bad. So, yeah, an affordable key that will be at King Con. Up next, if I think it is what it is, X-Men 121. First full appearance of Alpha Flight. This was actually part of an X-Men collection I think I got, if I remember correctly. I got to get confused because I had gotten this range of books several times in collections around that era, around that time frame. Again, I thought this was more mid-grade, like a 7, and it came back a 6. Okay, so they graded the two of those very similarly, and both were lower than I expected. Yeah, I thought it looked about the same, so I guess they did as well. So let's just take a quick look at what the grader's notes probably similar. I don't know if there's anything revelatory. Same light bends to cover, light creasing to cover, light spine stress lines to cover. So this has less creasing, I think. Maybe it's just the fact that the cover's white. No, there was some stuff. Yeah, there was kind of almost like a sub-crease. You can kind of see it there in Vindicator's thigh. Breaks the red a little bit. But nice affordable book. That'll be available. Now, the next one, if it is the next one, is interesting. It is. X-Men 129, newsstand. Right, so we're into 1980. They're denoting newsstands. First appearance of Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. And this had some tape on the interior of the front cover. If you look right, you can see kind of above the IC in comics, there's a tear. And they'd put tape on the inside cover. But all it did was, it's actually, fortunately, hasn't stained, the book, but there's some other tears up there. Again, I thought this was like a 6.5. And they'll probably give it a 6 as well. I think they got lazy. These were the last 3 books alphabetically in the thing. So they're like, give them all 6s. Okay. So let's hope a little bit better on some of the other books that are higher grade. I mean, we've done, fine so far. But just those 3 X-Men were not... this is an interesting one. This is AllStar Comics #1. It's a variant. It's the... they don't list it. It's the, what do they call it? The RRP, some retailer incentive. This is the AllStar Comics miniseries run from '99, and this was a variant cover. This is a very hard to find book. There are only, I think, 20 of these on the census. I picked this up from Street Side Anthony. And I think I paid a couple $100 for it. And I just couldn't, this is my jam, AllStar Comics. I just couldn't walk away. I thought this was like a 9.4, and it came back a 9.6 white pages. I thought it had a good shot at the 9.6, didn't really have a shot at the 9.8. So, very happy with that. Now, hard to ascertain fair market value on this because there aren't that many of them, and there aren't that many that have sold. But there was a sale of one of these for $1,500. Like in November. So that is, and despite what it's worth, it's not going anywhere. This is a book I'm keeping. I love, Justice Society and All-Star and all that Earth 2 Golden Age stuff. So the census on this one is very, very small. There are 20 universal copies. There are 6 9.6s, and there are 3 9.8s. So only 3 books better, and only 5 other books the same as this one. So again, in the range of what I had expected, the higher end. I put down a 9.4, but I was like, I think it could get a 9.6. I was just being conservative because there are a couple of very light spine stress lines, and there was one other little piece of something that was, there was like a crescent shape that I couldn't press out, but like right up. I don't even know if you can see it in the light. Very, very faint. Yeah, I get the light just right. Like right there. Yep. Couldn't get that out. But 9.6, cannot complain. Okay. Well, how many books we got left? We got like still a number of books left, like 10 books or so. 10 books left, I believe. Okay. Still some goodies to come. What's a modern submission without a Ms. Marvel #1? First ongoing series. I thought this was a pretty nice. This was part of that Thanksgiving collection I got. I thought it was pretty high grade. I had it at a 9.2. Oof, 8.0. Yikes. Did I have that at a 9.2? Let me just make sure I'm looking at it. Yeah. 8.0. Ooh, that's a real big downgrade. There is a lot of price compression on this book because there are a lot of them now in that range. So I'm kind of interested in the grader's notes. There is like, at the top spine is a little bit of a ding, but the grader's notes tend to be very vague anyway, so I don't know what help they're going to be. Just see if there's anything weird. Light bends, light creasing, line spine stress lines. Doesn't really tell us much. Okay, but I got plenty of those Ms. Marvel ones. That's fine. Up next, let's see what we got next. So, Nova #1. Of course, a modern submission. This I thought was like an 8.0. First appearance of Nova. This I'll probably bring. This was also part of that Thanksgiving collection I got. I thought it was an 8.0, and it came back an 8.0, white pages. Okay, so we're right on the mark there. Let's see what we got next. Spectacular Spider-Man, number 64, newsstand, first Cloak and Dagger. Right. This, I think I got from that Long Island collection as well. I thought this was a 9.2. And it came back an 8.0. Ouch. What happened? They're probably going to just say the same thing. Bends, and that is... I don't understand that. Oh, yeah. You know what it is on this one? This one is... I don't think it should affect the grade, but it might have. You can see running from the top of the cover down to the U. There's kind of like a... And through, like, Cloak's shoulder, there's kind of... Yeah, I think they hit me on that. There's kind of like a printer's... like smudge, like, so I'm not sure if that will be, it is white pages though. I think these are all white pages. Oops, that didn't. And the grader's notes tell us bends, creasing, spine stress lines. There aren't even light spine stress lines. There are maybe very, very slight. So doesn't say anything about that kind of printer smudge. So that is a downgrade. So that Ms. Marvel and this one both, and they got stuck at the 8.0. You know, as I submitted them, because I submit them alphabetically in a numeric order, and there are 3 books in a row, the Ms. Marvel, the Nova, and the Spectacular Spider-Man, that were submitted right in a row there that all got 8.0s. So Star Wars 68 newsstand. Okay. This is the first appearance of the Mandalorians, I believe, is its claim to fame. I had this at a 7.5. 7.5 white pages. So right on target with what I thought. So that's another push. We started out a lot better. The first few books I got some good pluses. So yeah. About what I expected. This did need a lot of pressing. It's interesting. Yeah, there's some small spine stress lines. It's almost like when they encapsulated it, like the cover like got compressed this way and produced some more kind of stress in the spine area. Okay, next. Thor 337, newsstand, first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. This was in that Long Island collection as well, the Thanksgiving collection, because there were a lot of newsstands. This was actually the only Thor book in the collection. But I know the guy who was curating the collection, it was the original owner had moved off to college and gave it to a friend of his who stored it in his parents' attic, and then he worked out a deal for his friend, but he had culled some of the collection. So he knew what he had. He was a comic book guy, so he knew the better books. I had this, I thought this was an 8.0. There was some foxing on this book. That was, for me, kind of the biggest issue. So I had it at an 8.0. It came back at 6.0. Ouch. Did they really hammer it that hard for the foxing? I don't know what else is... I mean, this is, you know... I bet you if I look at the grader's notes, it's going to say light spine stress lines, light bends, light yada, yada, yada. What do you think? Am I going to see anything more interesting? Especially when you go down to a 6.0 on this book. Ouch. Light bends, light creasing, light spine stress lines. I'm not pleased with that grade. I do not think this was a 6.0 book. And they're being very... I mean, at this point in this, you know, looking at the grader's notes for this submission, they're kind of useless because they don't tell you anything. You know, there's nothing. I'm not seeing this as a 6.0. I'm sorry. That is, you know, maybe they looked at it as the same as those X-Men books. Hey, we got what, 5 more? Invoice. So $560. Oh, here we have. This was what I was talking about earlier, and then the order got messed up a little bit. This is Invincible Iron Man number 7. The first appearance of Riri Williams and cameo on the last page. This was a hot book like in 2021, and then more and more got submitted because there were plenty of them in high grade that existed. So I thought this was like a 9.6. There was, I think, a small amount of somewhere. There was like some color rubbed off rather than rubbed on. So I added a 9.6, and it came back a, yes, a 9.8. That's a plus. Okay, that's good. I mean, the very nice. Very happy with that. The first 9.8 of the batch, because I wasn't necessarily expecting it. Yeah, I think what it was if you look below the UPC box on her thigh, right at the bottom of the book, there's some color rubbed off there. The other leg has like some schmutz on the but yeah, that was the biggest defect. And I guess that was, yeah, you can see like there is some color rub below that 6, the 06 on the UPC code, but still get a 9.8. There are minor defects that are allowed in a 9.8, so that was a minor defect. And there we go. Very nice. So that's a plus. Good. Up next, this is a big book. Just trying to make sure I have everything. I think I have. We got 4 left. Yeah, a couple of big ones left. Okay. Yep. This was another one. I had gotten this in a collection that was most of the collection was Golden Age. But there was this book. It needed a little bit of love and care. It's still, I think it's like a 6. There's spine stress lines. Is it this copy? No, I have another copy. Right, I'm trying to think. No, I'm sorry. This is a different book. This is from that Thanksgiving collection. A little bit lower grade. But first appearance is Sabretooth. I thought it was a 6. Came back a 6. White pages. Yeah, they kind of got stuck on 6 for a bunch of these. It's interesting that there are no 6 5s or 7s. And there's so far 2 7 5s, and there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 O's. 6 6 O's, I'm sorry. 6 6 O's. So they kind of got stuck on that. 6.0. And I think that's sometimes maybe the problem you see with newer graders. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Let me know what your experiences are with that. That, you know, these books, a lot of them came from the same collection, but a lot from different collections. If they, you know, all submitted together and they all look about the same, just go, oh, 6 6 6 6 6. Demon in a Bottle, newsstand edition, Iron Man 128. I thought this was an 8, and now I'm fearful that it's going to get a 6. There's some spine stresses, but other than that, it's not a bad book. Iron Man 128, it came back a 7. So now I have a 7. So that's below what I had expected. Okay. It's mostly spine stuff. A little bit something up at the top. And I know if I put the grader's notes in, it'll say, like spine stress lines to cover, like bends to cover, like creasing to cover. 2 to go. This one I thought was a little bit nicer. Same collection, that Thanksgiving collection I got. This, wish I had this a few weeks ago. Marvel Premiere number 47, the first appearance of Ant-Man, or Scott Lang as Ant-Man, the Scott Lang version of Ant-Man, because Scott Lang had appeared earlier and we had a previous Ant-Man. So, and also the first appearance of Cassidy Lang, which is not included in the notes on the book. So, I thought this was pretty nice. I thought it was a 9.0. There's somewhere at the top. Again, I thought it was a 9.0, and it came back as, oh, wow, that is brutal. There is no way this is a 6.0. No way. Absolutely none. There's a little bit of wear at the top, but no, there's no way this is a 6.0. That is brutal. I mean, I'm not that wrong that, you know, that it's basically down 6 full grade values. That is, I mean, there is some wear at the top there. Some top wear, and the corner's a little soft, but, I mean, no major creasing. A little bit of a crease over the 7. Right, maybe a little bit of a crease on the pound sign on the telephone. But come on. This is not a 6.0. I might be tempted to crack this out and resubmit it just on principle's sake. But again, it's kind of that thing, that laziness that, you know, from the same era. So the 6.0s are all from the late 70s to early 80s. Yeah. One more book to go. So this is a little bit later, so maybe they didn't view it the same. Secret Wars number 8, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8. I thought this was an 8.5. There were a couple spine ticks. And this came out, obviously, the first appearance of the black suit. Came back. What? A 9.6. Wow. Wow. Nice. Wow. That is awesome. I'm floored by this this grade. Again, I'll take it. So we had, I think, 7 above what I thought they were going to grade at, 10 below, and 8 exactly the same grade. So that's about what you expect, you know. A couple way below, a couple I couldn't explain. This one I can't explain either. I'm maybe, yeah, because I mean, even look like right up at the top on the spine there. There's a little bit of notching up there. There's a little bit of something above the eye and in. But wow. Wow. I am not displeased with this grade. A 9.6 white pages. That is excellent. Yeah, because the 2 spine ticks on here are, they kind of, there's one in the gray there. Hard to see there in the light. They're kind of sizable. They're not really, you know, they don't break color that badly, but they're not thin. So I'll take it. I will take it. So we're going to look at the fair market value. And for you, I'll be back in a second. Now, when we add up the fair market value of all 25 books in the box, it came to, interestingly, exactly $5,600. The CGC fees were 1/10 of that, $560, which isn't bad. It was $20.40 a book, and then $5, I guess, submission fee or whatever they call it, and and then $45 for shipping and handling. So that's not bad. And a lot of the FMV is driven by that AllStar Comics #1. I'm not sure exactly. There's only been the one sale. So it's hard to determine what the true FMV value of that book is, but I don't care because I'm keeping it. It's just a really cool, unique book to have. And it's in my wheelhouse. That's what I love to collect. So actually, I'm gonna, the only books I think I'm keeping are the Black Lightning one, the Booster Gold one, and the and that might be it. And then I think I'm going to resubmit that Ant-Man book. That does that grade, and even the Beta Ray Bill book. Those grades make no sense to me. So I'm going to have to think about that. Maybe I'll bring them to the show, and if I sell them myself, because I got them as part of collection, so I'm not into those books. But they were just throwing the 6s out like crazy. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books that got a 6.0. Nothing below that. And I didn't expect anything below that. Listen, I expected some of the books to be 6.5 or 7, which is fine. But, you know, a couple of the books I expected to be 8 and 9. So, but then I got a couple of nice surprises as well. The Secret Wars was a nice surprise. So, you know, I think for the most part it's a fair unboxing. I think maybe the grader just kind of put a whole bunch of books together that looked similar. We'll have to see. I think, you know, a couple of them might be worth resubmitting because it's 6.0. They're not really worth a whole heck of a lot. So now I have to put these books in bags, put prices on them, and put them in some bins to be ready to go tomorrow morning. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I always enjoy these unboxing videos. They're a lot of fun. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think about that, you know, consistency in grades. And all of those books that got those grades were, I think, the most recent book was the Thor, which was a 1983. All the other books were from, you know, 77. Most of them were from 79 and 80. So I think that does have something to do with it. But I'm glad, you know, the 9.8 on the Riri, the 9.6 on the Star Wars, 9.6 on the AllStar Comics. You know, some pluses, some minuses. That's about the best you can do with a CGC submission. So anyway, I got 3 more books that are coming back next week. They're the Standard and 2 Express. So fingers crossed for the right grades on those. I should get those back in about a week. And anyway, thanks for joining us. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos. You know, I'm gonna link up the videos where I got a lot of these books from in the collections here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.